What are some boyfriend-girlfriend relationship hacks? Example from my girlfriend inside. Potentially NSFW? My wife periodically suffers from a general melancholiness and will need to do something to snap out of it, but will decline everything I offer. I've found that instead of asking, if I just say we're doing this, she's likely to go along with it and come out with a sunnier disposition. For example, would you like to go out to a movie? Will get a sullen no. But movie title is playing at 6:00. Let's go. Gets a positive response. My wife is well aware I do this and thinks it's a great arrangement. She understands that if given a choice, she'll often just mope around the house unhappy. TLDR, if someone needs a pick-me-up, don't ask if they want to do something. Just tell them what your plans are and they're more likely to go along with it. Edit. To everyone saying how amazing I am, I've been with my wife for 6 years, as of yesterday. Actually, I only figured this out about 6 months ago. I have never been one for public displays of affection. My girlfriend, now wife, is big into PDA. She would often complain that I never tell her I loved her in public or shared a kiss or hug. I always held her hand and felt this was enough in public. She disagreed. So my solution was to discreetly show her my feelings by squeezing her hand twice, and she would reply with squeezing my hand 3 times. I explained to her that 2 hand squeezes meant love you and 3 squeezes meant love you too. This quickly caught on and we have been doing this for 8 years now. She hasn't complained yet about lack of PDA. As a bonus, when we married, my wife purchased my wedding ring with squeeze squeeze engraved inside. That's a cute freaking story, bro. Ever since I started dating my wife, she always loved to tickle me. A year into the relationship, she confessed it was her way of getting me to hold her hand. Apparently to stop the tickling, I grab her hand and hold it like normal hand holding. Still works to this day and I smile every time I realize she's pulled her trick. Well, since you said relationship and left it open to interpretation, I'll share. My younger sister, 11 years old, has learned this trick where, if she ever gets in trouble is being yelled at by my mother, she turns on country music. And my mom almost immediately stops being upset and just starts singing with it. Only country music though. Nothing else works. I've witnessed this countless times. And it is f-king genius. I know a guy who has a standing $10 tip with his wife's hairdresser. He gets a call each time his wife gets her hair cut with a brief description of what was done. Wife walks in the door. He says, "Honey, did you get your hair done? It's a bit shorter and looks great." Winners all around. Question for OP. Now that you know the trigger, does her putting her hair up still work? Probably. Now he knows when she's in the mood, which is a turn on in itself. Better yet, it would be interesting to know if watching another woman put her hair up turns him on or not. My girlfriend knows that if she kisses me on the back of the neck, I can't stay angry. If I'm ever angry or upset, she won't let me fall asleep. Normally, I don't like to talk about my feelings. All she does is say my name softly and kiss the back of my neck. And I open right up after that. I have little control. It makes me very comfortable. We've had great talks with me as the little spoon. And she just talks into the back of my neck. You are never the little spoon. She is the jetpack. Squeeze her arms and make rocket noises. Whenever my uncle farts, his wife says I love you. Eventually my uncle started saying I love you too every time he farted around her. Prompted or not. Hide chocolate around the house. In random places. When roommate girlfriend is PMSing. Crampy. Hormonal. And miserable. And calls me at work to complain about feeling terrible. Tell her to look behind the silverware tray. Under the couch cushion. Behind the plant. Etc. Instant comfort. And it shows that you care enough to go to the trouble to prevent problems before they happen. Of course. This can lead to her craving chocolate when she's not feeling crampy and awful. which can lead to you coming home to find her trapped on top of the fridge, unable to get down after having searched for chocolate. I just remember that the same guy who doesn't notice my spiffy new haircut or new dress or that I washed the dishes is the same guy who doesn't notice when I get a horrible haircut or gain 10 pounds or that I didn't bother to clean up my place before he came over. Whenever I showed any spontaneous affection, my wife would complain. I guess someone wants something. It started out as a joke, but over the years it became a real turn off. Sometimes I just felt like I loved her and wanted to touch her whatever. Years later, she complained that I don't initiate their sex. Well done. Ouch. That was a concise summary of how small things, accumulated over years, become large things. I just put on my business socks. It works every Wednesday. I once worked with a guy who said he jerked off so much in the shower he would get hard when it rained. I do. But I just really love rain. Blowjobs. If you want a man to forgive you, if you want him to go to sleep or wake up, if you want him to just shut up, if you want to have sex with him, but he's not in the mood. Blowjobs. I've never given a blowjob without achieving my desired results. Girlfriend here. If I have a lazy day and I want to feel accomplished, give my boyfriend a blowy. Just makes me feel like I got something done. Forehead kisses and Cadbury mini eggs fix most problems. It's true that does work. When my girlfriend wants it, she wears green. So a year later I am now conditioned to get aroused whenever I see green. Walking through forests must be an interesting experience for you. I have a Wi-Fi access point that sends its syslog to an Ubuntu server running syslog PHP miscl. A PHP script is watching the named pipe that the syslog outputs to. Long story short, if my girlfriend is walking up to my house, a phone associates to my Wi-Fi and I get a text message before she even gets to the door. Of course, it gives me this info for any of my friends with my Wi-Fi password as they approach. It ignores my MAC addresses, but still keeps track of when every device has associated. I use Twilio to send texts from. I just listen for the sound of her car. But I did something similar when I was tiering a CS class. Long story short, I'd sit with my back to the door and greet students by name when they came in. When they WTF'd me, I'd just tell them I could recognize people by the sound of their footsteps. My girlfriend always falls watching TV on the computer. Usually, I hold the laptop while she lays on my chest. She always falls asleep first, leaving me with the tricky task of rolling her off of me without waking her up. Following some stupid suggestion I read in a magazine, I squeeze her gently, give her an audible kiss on the head, and then roll her over. I repeated these exact steps every time she went to sleep, with success. After a year, I decided it was time to put my hard work to the test. She fell asleep on my chest as usual, but this time all I did was give her a light kiss on the forehead. As if by magic, she immediately rolled over. Now, no matter what position she falls asleep in, I can make her roll over just by making a kissing sound. TL. Dr. I Pavlovian conditioned my girlfriend to roll off my arm and you can too. Squeeze. Kiss. Roll. Whenever I put on my robe and wizard hat, she leaves me alone. Get naked. Act normal till he turns around, form the computer. Work like a charm every time, now there's Diablo. Don't buy flowers when you FCK up. That shit's cliche. It's alright for anniversaries and birthdays and shit. But the best time to buy your woman flowers is totally out of the blue. It's a thoughtful little gesture when it's random. And it doesn't cost you much, but gives you mad karma for when you do FCK up. TL. Dr. Bitches love flowers. Just don't be cliche about it. An exceptionally good time to buy a woman flowers is when she FCKs up. A week after my dad bought a new car, my mom scratched up the side of it on a cement pillar in a parking garage. She was obviously mortified. My dad comes home from work like a boss. A dozen roses in his hands. My mom has been telling this story for 20 years now. My wife has this hack. That when she puts sweatpants on, I know for sure I am not getting any that night. Really? Sweatpants for me means easy access for later. I have a full-on awful sleep pattern. And never sleep well. Constantly tossing and turning and kicking. My girlfriend found 2 ways around this. The first is the way she positions herself in my arms. Which is quite a secure and solid position. Given she is less than 5 feet tall and weighs next to nothing, when I turn over she usually comes with me. She seems to sleep through it. And given I have a large bed, I am yet to throw her out of it. Apparently it is better than being kicked or rolled onto. The second is when we crash in a bed which is far too small for the 2 of us. I lie on my back and she lies on my front. Stomach to stomach. As she is so small in comparison to my height, probably around 6 feet 2, she fits quite snug using my torso as a mattress. Where do you want to go to dinner? I don't know. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Okay. Pick 3 or choose. You pick 3. Daily Bar and Grill. The Pick Me Up. And I don't know. Leonis. The Pick Me Up. Done. Would you kindly eat me out? Nice try. Fontaine. Not this time. I have heard that. While flirting, if you do something when a girl smiles, play with your hair, wipe your eye, or some other thing visual, repeatedly, it becomes naturally ingrained for her to smile when you do it. Would it work with picking my nose? Does it still have the same effect now that you're aware of it? That's a really good question. I think now I'll forever link it to being horny. So I don't know, I can find out. That's some real Pavlov right there. Agree to anything that doesn't really matter. That way you can demand the things you actually want. Example. We bought a house. I wanted my den and the garage to be exactly how I wanted. So I gave her the rest of the house. Anytime she asked my opinion, I said I can give you suggestions. But really, it's your decision. It's your room. And really, none of that stuff matter at all to me. So it looks like I'm being agreeable and sweet. When really, I'm just being selfish. So she tells me what she wants in the garage and I'm like, nope. That's mine. You got your pink guest room. The garage will be my brewery. She gets 80% of the house. I got my 20%. Zero arguments. If this hadn't been established, I guarantee you she would have gotten 100% of the design choices. From male perspective. 1. Have a stash of gifts ready at any moment. 2. When she tells you her problems, don't give her advice. Just listen. 3. Have a moment of gratitude with her every day. And let her know something about her that you really appreciate. The listen without advice thing has always bothered me as a man. We like to fix things. My husband and I don't fight very often. But when we do, we decided we needed a sign to let the other person know that we still care and we're still there for them. So, we will hold hands and take turns squeezing the other's hand. It works very well for us. It lets us know that the arguing isn't about me versus you. It's us versus this issue. We know that both of us are working towards a goal where everyone is happy and that we still love one another. She gets naked. And suddenly I have no clothes. You can't explain that. Up down left right BA. If you don't want to go see that chick flick, suddenly develop a crush on the lead female character. This does not work WMIGF. Whenever I saw a female actor is hot, she either agrees or disagrees. But it never bothers her. On the plus side, I just tell her I don't want to watch chick flicks. And we don't. I tell my wife I want my dick in your mouth. She says, well, F King, do something about it. Then we have SX. I'm so manipulative. Whenever I piss on my girlfriend in the shower, I get to play video games for a few hours. My girlfriend has this trick where she turns on PRN and it just really gets me going. TL. DR, my girlfriend is a computer. Well, my girlfriend has this secret trick. Every time she rubs me down there, you know, my penis, I seem to get horny every time. I hadn't realized it, but she had been conditioning me since the first day we met. TL. DR, it's not that long. Comma, it's not that long. Colon. I don't have any similar stories. But yours is awesome. Or horrible. Not sure which. Yay. Contributing. I have sort of a low libido. When last I was with a GF, she said she wasn't getting it enough. So, anytime I even got a random boner or was even half-mast, I would opt to get kissy face with her, no matter how random it might seem. Whoops. I guess my penis is awake. And bam, she was into it. Problem solved. The cool thing was it didn't matter what inspired my penis. I could have had a random thought about a girl at Starbucks, and my GF would get the benefit. I should have married her. Grats, dude. My wife hasn't put out for 2 years. She's conditioning me to cheat so she can get all my stuff and my pension. I have this skirt. It isn't terribly exciting. Kinda short but not really short. White and lacy. But I only wear it when I want to go at it like a bitch in heat. Hacking in progress. Your girlfriend is a genius. Marry her. I hate green and yellow Skittles. My GF loves those the most. I hate cleaning the bathtub. But don't mind vacuuming the apartment or cleaning the toilet. She hates both of those things. She hates peanut butter, so I get to eat right out of the jar. This is the part of the show when I wonder why I haven't married her yet. There are many ways to hack your GFBF or basically almost any living creature. Usually the easiest thing to do is differential reinforcement. E.g. if you want the person animal to do something on a regular basis, don't tell him how what to do. Or even punish the wrong behavior. Reinforce the right one. Studies have shown that this technique of education is far more effective than any of the others. This is how you do it, if you don't already do it unconsciously. 1. Get him/her to do the target task. E.g. wash the dishes. 2. Make him/her feel good afterwards. Thank you so much. You did a great job. Bark 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 bark, dog treat. 3. Repeat until 2 is not necessary anymore. Note, if he/she is not even once doing the targeted behavior, just ease him/her into it. For the dishwashing example, start being nice to the person whenever he/she is in the kitchen. Then do this when the person is near the sink. Then when the person is actually doing the dishes. TL. DR. Get the person to do the thing you want. Reinforce. Profit. Edit. Okay. It's an animal. You and your girlfriend are disgusting sinners. Enjoy L. Fornicators. It's not premarital if you never get married. Your girlfriend is pretty awesome. I want ARP's girlfriend. My girlfriend does this really cute thing where she doesn't exist. Short version. I knew a girl who was something of a chronic masturbator. I had her keep a cherry lifesaver in her mouth whenever she masturbated. I bought her about 100 rolls of cherry lifesavers specifically for this duty. Today, maybe 15 years later, anytime she smells or tastes cherry she gets instantly horny. I routinely send her cherry-oriented gifts on holidays and her birthday. Not so much a hack. But when she's mad or venting you don't say anything except, "That must be tough." I can relate to that. I love-hate that too. I feel closer to you now. You know, she always has been jealous of you. Instead of saying what's wrong or why are you mad, say help me understand what's going on. The first two sound accusatory, put the focus on her. The latter puts it on you. I know that everyone is into life hacks and uses the term to mean many things. But something about relationship hacks just rubs me the wrong way. Do we need to have shortcuts or use conditioning for everything? I hacked my girlfriend into a duffel bag. I agree. It sounds like, hey man, you want some manipulation shortcuts? You want to know nasty tricks to get people into bed? Do you consider sex a win-loss proposition, where you'd like to be the winner and mark some poor girl as used goods by blowing a load all over her? Well, this thread has what you're looking for. Shave her head, but then she'll lose all her strength. What guy needs to be conditioned to have sex with his girlfriend? You know what my girlfriend does when she wants to have sex? She tells me she wants to have sex. I'm calling BS. Girls don't say what they think. They make it a mystery. It wasn't intentional on her part, I'm assuming, but my ex-wife did something similar to me. She has some serious emotional issues and as a result she cried a lot, which would lead to me holding her, which would then lead to sex. So now I get horny when women cry around me. Nice try, rapist. When it comes to relationships, everyone on Reddit is a hack. People, please stop making Pavlov jokes. Communication. Talk to yourself. Whenever my ex would get horny, he would place his hand on my lower back and lightly press on it. Why? Because whenever we had sex and I was on top, he would grab at my lower back. Now, 7 years later and with a new boyfriend, if a guy touches my lower back, I am instantly turned on, to the point where I want to find the closest secluded area and have sex now. I sadly had a male intro professor, he was 2 years older than me, touch my lower back to get me to do a speech or some such tea. I don't remember what I did because I was so turned on. When I got home I jumped my boyfriend and we had sex 4 times that day. Gah. I hate it. Sounds horrible.